The United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights on Thursday condemned the string of police killings of unarmed African Americans and called for U.S. officers who use excessive force to be charged and convicted for their crimes.
Here's a summary of the article.
The United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights on Thursday condemned the string of police killings of unarmed African Americans and called for U.S. officers who use excessive force to be charged and convicted for their crimes. Released the statement following the death of an unarmed black man who died Monday in the custody of Minneapolis police shortly after an officer was recorded kneeling on his neck. This is the latest in a long line of killings of unarmed African Americans by U.S. police officers and members of the public, Bachelet said. I am dismayed to have to add George Floyd's name to that of Breonna Taylor, Michael Brown, and many other unarmed African Americans who have died over the years at the hands of the police, as well as people such as Trayvon Martin who were killed by armed members of the public. Procedures must change, prevention systems must be put in place, and above all police officers who resort to excessive use of force should be charged and convicted for the crimes committed, she wrote. Floyd is heard telling the officer that he is unable to breathe and bystanders beg police to let him go. Floyd's death is the latest in a string of recent high-profile incidents targeting African Americans that have been captured on video.
This post received a score of 86,000, with an upvote ratio of 87%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
There needs to be institutional change and accountability. This starts with a dedicated and separate investigative division to look into the local police forces involved. No more of this, we have investigated ourselves and found we did nothing wrong.
Start making civil awards come out of their pensions. Every time there is an unlawful shooting, retirement age is pushed back a year. They'll start policing themselves in a hurry. Or, just hold the cops accountable that abuse their power instead of punishing the cops that actually do their job well. Make the civil awards come directly from the officer that broke the law and make sure they can't ever get a job policing again.
The thing is, if you're making the actions of one dick cop hurt the rest, they're all gonna be more willing to call the assholes out and try to remove them.
I respectfully disagree. If all get punished for one doing wrong, they are more likely to hide the wrongdoing to avoid being punished for someone else's error. I think rewarding exemplary behavior is better. Reward the correct behaviors, calling out corruption, rather than punishing the whole for mistakes of the one.
Greater than respectfully disagree. If all get punished for one doing wrong, they are more likely to hide the wrongdoing to avoid being punished for someone else's error. It's exactly what they have been doing. That stupid code of silence and blue line BS. I won't turn on you, you won't turn on me, and screw everyone else. It's similar to military camaraderie, and that has no business in civilian life.
It's similar to military camaraderie, and that has no business in civilian life. Damn. That's a good point. Military is literally us versus them. That should not be the policing mentality. The police are supposed to work with the public, not be adversarial.
That us versus them thinking is no surprise, considering after Iraq and Afghanistan there were lots of vets that went into the police forces. Thing is, a soldier's job is to follow orders. A police officer's job is to make choices. So there is a difference of thinking that is not happening. Edit, formatting.
Soldiers are better trained and have more strict regulations for using lethal force sometimes than officers do. I'd rather have the retired soldier than the one that dropped boot camp or lied trying to get in and settled for the police department or working private security.
Yay, in the military we're double subjected to any punishment or laws because we're subject to the local enforcement like state, federal law and then the UCMJ as well on top. We literally are expected to behave better than the general public. Not all do, but the punishments are rarely swept under the rug for most crimes etc. Even in the special forces, we have someone who kills someone in cold blood and the others ratted him out. Fuck, cops don't do that.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to Speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.